I'm ready.
Straight from LA. Come on, we got a special guest in right here. Mr. Rob Mullins. Woo woo.
Coming on in. What's up, little sis?
What's going on?
How have you been?
Good, and you?
How's everything?
Great. How's everything with you?
How come I just get older and you just get cuter?
Well, thanks.
That's not fair.
Drink a lot of Mountain Dew, that's the secret.
I know, I was going to try and get you a bottle on the way, but you didn't confirm that I was on the show until like 10 minutes ago.
No, I
was at a studio working.
I text you earlier, but you might have not got my text.
And then
I come into the studio, and then Hefe's like, is Rob going to be here? And I was like, well, I sent him a message earlier when you gave me his phone number.
Right.
And I was like, but maybe he didn't get it. So then I was like, let me private message him on Facebook real quick.
Right, well, what happens is that and you probably do this during your show, like, if you're in a studio, I was at Colorado Sound.
Yeah.
And they're just down the street. Oh, my God, great studio. But that's kind of a respect thing. Like, your phone is always off.
Yes.
You're away from your phone because time is money.
Yeah.
And people are spending a lot of money in the studio, so.
Yes, they are. Let me tell you about it. Ooh, I hear stuff. Okay.
See?
Yes.
Yeah, they are already starting to bug.
They're ready. They're like, we're here.
They're already bugging.
Here.
They're bugging for Melissa. Ignite with Melissa. I remember the first time I came on this show, I was just like, I haven't met this girl, and I think she thinks I'm a janitor at the Grammys. I think she thinks like I have a little broom and stuff. And she was like, hey, what's up, Henry? and I was like, no, man, it's going to be cool. And then you were just sitting here all chill going, whoop, whoop.
I started that off earlier. I was like, and then I was jamming out. And I was like, all right, here we go now.
Yeah, man. Well, it's good to see you. Is everything good? Your show has been on. Congratulations on a 1-year anniversary of your show.
Thank you.
That was recent, right?
That was a little recent, yes.
Yeah, it was fairly recent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must have a new boyfriend. That's got to be it.
No, I'm a single bee, friend. I'm a single bee.
It's just you walking the road of the Lord, and that's it, huh?
Yes, right now, yes.
That's okay, man.
Until Jesus sends somebody. But if he didn't send you, don't come enough.
Why are you looking down?
I was moving.
Is Jesus,
no, I
look,
didn't
if
want
he
to
sends
step on
somebody,
that.
they're not going to come from that side of the desk.
They definitely ain't going to come from
unless they're off East Colfax. And I don't want to go there on Friday during rush hour. No, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean,
Rewind. Bring it back in.
No, well, the problem is that, see, I always do really family-friendly, G-rated shows, but even Henry's vibe from just being in the control room, he rubs off on me.
He does.
And then I get all loony, and then people think it's my fault.
And you're like, no.
I'm here to defend myself.
Yes,
I guess the influence of Henry. The boss.
Case 1. Here we go.
Case number 1. I know, and they're putting everybody. Do you notice, like, everybody, there's a little teeny conflict. Now it's not just, okay, dude, we'll work it out and we'll be friends and everything. No, now it's like, you got to go to court. We have to have panels and more investigations and all that. And I just think, especially since your show has got such a happy, positive vibe, how do we pull people out of this mess of all this, like, criticism and suing each other, and everybody's got to investigate everybody? Like, where's the good? Where do you find the good?
Man, you just gotta start with yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
And then it all goes downhill from there.
Don't let it go downhill. Don't let it go downhill. No, I always tell people.
Yeah, what do you tell people?
You gotta look at things with a bigger perspective.
Okay.
And you always gotta put yourself in someone else's shoes, I feel like. And although it's easier said than done, you got to remember the grace that's been on you and the things that you've been forgiven for, the things that, you know, people have let you slide by, or things that you could have been in trouble for, but somehow you got away.
I remember being in that one club when that girl Grace got on me. I like to never get out from underneath that.
You're like, no.
I had to be rescued.
She can come back.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I was thinking about this on the drive over, like, because you always, and I know you've been through some hardships with, like, death around you and other things in the past few years, but you always bring this vibrant kind of spirit that I think is really just something that everybody needs to kind of catch on fire with you, which is, I guess, why you're Ignite.
Your
show is Ignite.
Come on. Okay, Mr. Rob, you better preach that.
Yeah,
I'm going to take off my sandal.
No, it's a serious business, man, because the vibe out there, and Kevin, the owner at Colorado Sound Studios, has expanded and done all this stuff, and I started recording there in the 80s. Like, he and I have been friends, and I haven't seen him all these years. And another producer friend of mine was working there today, and he said, "Don't tell Kevin. We're just going to surprise him." So I walk in, and he just loses it, you know. I haven't seen him in so long. But he's created this thing. You know how you can go into a room, and you can feel the energy of the room?
Yes, definitely.
And you don't have to be with that one crazy lady on the station, the psychic chick, to realize that.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
That lady's crazy, man. If you're not watching at noon on Monday, or when is she on?
I think she's on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Tuesdays.
Dude, that's crazy, man. Just tune in if you want to check out some, like, you know, some nano.
You've been tuning in for your readings, haven't you?
Well, no, I've been on. I actually have come on right after her a couple times. And then I walk into this room, and I'm like, do I need some, like, The Force spray?
You're like, hold on.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't need, like, you know, deodorant spray, but could I use spray The Force?
When you walk in.
From Star Trek or Star Wars.
When you walk in, it's like, may the odds forever be in your favor.
Exactly. But I could do a good Darth Vader kind of breathing thing.
Okay,
if
ready?
I had to.
Go. Go.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to do it.
Next time.
Yeah, I'll do it next time. But, you know, back on topic, just the feeling of bringing a positive vibe into the world. And that's a lot of what, especially in my early music, like if you guys go back and you listen to Soulscape and you listen to Fifth Gear and Tokyo Nights, which were both made right down the street here at Colorado Sound, the vibe of it is just this happy, overwhelming, enthusiastic joy. And how do you get to that in your personal life, people? Like for me, it was always through music and the church. You know, and it's not popular for like people to talk about the church and normal church. You know, and we just finished up the Grammys and everything, and that's not really. You don't see a lot of gospel in the Grammys. You don't see a lot of witnessing in the Grammys, although they have this amazing gospel thing.
Maverick City.
Come
on with Maverick City.
Maverick City
on the top. It was so awesome because they were on the rooftop. You could see MGM in the background.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is awesome to see God glorified at the Grammys up there on the top. Maverick City did a number.
They crushed it.
They did.
They crushed it. And, you know, frankly, see, there's always, as you know, there's always the battle of good versus evil. So when people want to talk religion with me, I never do it. And when people want to talk politics with me, especially online, I never do it. Because I simplify the whole thing down to there's like good and bad. There's a positive and there's the negative. And some of the imagery of things that happened in the Grammys in the last like 10 years or so, like Lady Gaga with the meat suit. She wore like a meat suit.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then there was Miley doing all these dark kind of weird kind of satanic, I don't know what other word, and Ariana Grande had a couple videos like that. And it literally gives me the creeps to watch those kinds of things because I can feel how disconnected I am from that energy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to connect to it because if I let that energy in and it starts to rule my world, then all you're going to get is depressing albums out of me from now on.
And then it will be like this when you walk in.
Like, So, you know, but I think it's just one of those, because I watch a show from time to time when I'm, you know, have time from LA and the beach and everything, and I'm super happy to see you just carrying on. You know, it's such a cool vibe. You're all bright and sunny and cute and everything.
You have your show too, Planet Mullins, if you guys haven't checked it out.
Oh, right. I have my own podcast. It's at youtube.com/Planet Mullins.
Yes.
In my podcast. Yeah.
Yes, and you have like tons of cool people on yours.
They're cool.
Yeah, and it's always a good time too.
It is, yeah.
You always bring in a good vibe and laughing and going on. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, we haven't had one bad guest so far, and I was really worried with this couple of classical artists because for you people out there that, you know, don't know much about classical music or whatever, like I have a really broad range of influences. I played a lot of classical music. I've been in orchestra, and you know, I don't like opera, but I appreciate like really intricate things. And you know, most people think like, well, Beethoven, Mozart, Wagner for the operas and this and that, but classical people are known for being just so serious.
Yeah.
Everything is so serious, right? So when I had Danae Vlasse, who was up for a classical vocal Grammy on, and her first time on my show, which was last year, she was kind of, apprehensive because we never met in person. And I was just starting the show. And then plus, she's like unbelievably hot. She's one of the most beautiful women. Like, she should be a freaking statue.
And then Rob was like, she's on Planet Mullins.
And what I did is I got on there, and I was just trying to break the ice with her on the show. So you were talking about this and that and the other thing. And I said something like, do you ever laugh? Do you ever smile? When was the last time somebody told you a joke? Like, I just said that.
Yeah.
And she was so surprised. And then she started laughing. And then I told her a joke. And then from then we were good.
Yes.
So now she knows if she's going to come on my show, I'm going to be saying outrageous stuff that like the classical radio station's not going to get near. Like NPR is not going to get near.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff that I'm going to say. Because NPR is going to be, what kind of baton was the conductor using when he was conducting that final movement of the Sirens, your brand new album, Mythologies? Right? And I'm saying stuff like, okay, so I listened to that thing with all those high sopranos. I can understand why all those sailors crashed into the frickin' island. Listen to that stuff in the mythologies. And if I saw you two girls coming at me from the sky, I would freak out too, right?
Yeah.
So happily, luckily for them, they won.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won. They won Best Classical Vocal Choral Album.
Oh, nice.
Which was really an awesome thing for me because now, like, we've met and we're all friends. And there's three singers. There's Sangeeta Kaur, who's the biggest singer to ever come out of the country of Vietnam. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
And there's Danae Vlase, who is Greek and French.
Okay.
That's why she's like so interesting looking.
Yeah.
And she was, dad was Greek and her mom was French, and she speaks all these languages and she does all this stuff, and she just has this commanding presence when she walks into a room.
Yeah.
It's like the whole room just goes, and
Yeah.
that's a big deal. And then the other one is Gila Plitman, who's a world-renowned opera singer. So it's all of them singing together and playing, and Danae writes everything. They did this amazing album and all the videos. And that's not easy, man. It takes so much money.
Yeah.
People say, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to get a Grammy. I'm going to send my music in. Oh, good luck. Because there were 11,000 albums this year.
Oh, wow.
To listen to.
That's crazy.
And you get 3 months. So you start out, you get on your phone and calculate, okay, we'll see if I sleep for 15 seconds.
Now, you're part of the Grammys.
I'm a voting member.
Yes. Yeah, you're a voting member. I remember that the last time you said
right,
that.
and I'm a Grammy nominee, too.
Yes, sir. Come on.
So, maybe we'll come up with a thing and I'll win next time. And
He
we'll
is going to win next time.
That would be fun.
And I'm going to be there live.
I'm going to be there.
I'm going to be there out there, like way on the outside, because they're going to be like, who is this chick? But I'll be out there in the middle of the streets with y'all, and I'll be like, I'm live from Ignite with Melissa. Y'all. I'm waiting for Rob, the Grammy nominee, our winner, to come out here.
I'm ready. I'm ready to win. I mean, since I was last on, we had my party for my 40th album. And you came to that. It was nice of you to come. 40 albums I've done, folks, over a 40-year time period, and I am so grateful that I was allowed to still breathe there and have my fingers work and all that stuff. Because, I know lots of musicians, even many from back here when I used to play with them in the 80s and stuff. Dude, they've been dead already 15 years. Died last year, died 5 years ago. Heart attack, cirrhosis of the liver. That means you're an alcoholic, right? Then the fentanyl is going through all this stuff. Like, there's so many young people smoking pot in LA, and they're losing their minds because they're cutting the weed with fentanyl. Do you know what that is? Of course not. You've never even heard of weed. Weed is a green thing that grows in the ground right near your grass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's cottonweed and there's dandelions.
Oh, I like dandelions.
I know, but you shouldn't.
But is it not those kind of dandelions?
No, it's the other kinds.
Not the ones that I can pick up.
No, they call them fentanyl lions.
Uh-oh.
So, but it's a crisis. I mean, what's going on in the world with people out with drugs, and especially where I live in Venice, it's kind of known as a town where everybody's kind of getting high.
Yeah.
And I realized on 420, which was like 2 nights ago, I was here in Colorado, and 420, which is the big, every year, that's the big day for all the, I just call them Wheaties, is what I call them now. Stoners, they used to call it stoners.
Say that now, Wheaties.
Wheaties, W-E-E-D, yeah,
Almost
I-E-S. I had a girlfriend in 2018 that cured me of weed, and that was her nickname, Wheatie.
Wheatie?
That's what we all called her. She would be up in the morning, it's like, We're like, dude, it's 7 a.m. Come on, you know. Yeah, and you can't do that. And then now, I missed 420 altogether. Like, I found out the next day. I looked at my thing, and people were like, "What did you do for 420?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I outgrew it. Or what did I do? I didn't do anything.
I grew up."
I missed it completely. But I've been having fun while I'm in town. I went down to Rhino last night, that area.
Yes.
Yeah, and the only way they let me stay there in my age range is I said I was your friend and you're on the way.
I was almost there.
Yeah, I was almost the oldest person there. So I'm walking around going, wow, this is what 21-year-old people look like. That's cool. Oh no, the Nuggets are getting killed again and they lost again.
You know, hopefully.
The Joker, he's by himself.
Man.
How are we going to fix it? We got one game left to try.
We got to go in there.
What are we going to do?
Some big signs.
Big signs?
Some big moral support and be like, just do it.
I think there's only one solution.
Okay, what?
Okay,
they can't have Wheaties though.
No, it's had nothing to do with
the solution.
Not Wheaties or Wheaties.
Or Wheaties.
Neither. Here's my solution. We got to call it DC Marvel, and we got to say, look, the Joker's in trouble. We got to have Batman. We got to have Superman. We got to have Wonder Woman.
Ooh, Wonder Woman.
And then we need one more person. Then we got 5 people on the Nuggets that could play.
Yes.
Starting with the Joker's the leader.
The Joker's.
And then Batman can fly through over Steph Curry and like make the dance.
I love it. I love it.
That would be super cool.
And DC, it works perfect because Denver, Colorado. So you know,
we're
already branded. It's going to be #1 top ink right there.
Well, you know, I'm, as you can see from my hat, I'm a Dodgers fan too. So when I found out that the Dodgers and the Rockies were the opening series, I was a little worried because our Dodgers team is, first off, they spend so much dang money. I can't believe it. Like, they spend more money on the Dodgers than the whole country of Thailand has in their government.
Oh, geez.
Like, their budget for outfielders is more than the Thai general funding for the whole year.
I will sit on the outfield for that budget.
Right. I know, man. But they have all these great players, and there's a history, and I watched them, the legacy and everything. But then I thought we might get our ass handed to us on the opening day and in the series in Denver because of the wind. And the wind is blowing like a SOB right now.
Yes, I was saying that when they came on the show. I was like, ooh, I was getting blown away out there. It was like it was all calm for a second, and then it was just whoosh.
I know, forget about it. So we're watching the game and everything, and the Dodgers are just not doing it, and the Rockies are like, we don't need oxygen. We're the Rockies, dude. You know, 600-foot home run. That was on Mount Evans. Beautiful. And then the Dodgers came up, and the only way they really won that one game of the 3 that they won is that I think it was Chris Taylor or Justin Turner hit an outfield ball to left field.
Yeah.
And it was just like a totally routine ball.
Yeah.
But the wind came up, and the fielder's like running all the way to the track, and the wind just grabs the ball and goes, boop. And it drops straight down to the ground. And the fielder's like 20 feet away.
Like, what?
And it was an extra base hit. And that's how they scored. But now the Dodgers are killing it. I think they're 9-2.
You know,
they're playing
my son's a Dodgers fan. So
okay.
We go back and forth, you know, Rockies, Dodgers.
Right.
So if I go with him to a game, I have to sit on the other side with
what?
him because that's the only way he'll go with me. The Dodgers are playing, so he's got to sit on the guest side.
Ah, jeez.
So I'm like the only Rockies fan in a sea of Dodgers, and a sea of blue over there, and I'm like, here go Rockies! Even though it's like our hometown.
Right. Well, I was that way with the Broncos for a while too, and of course the Raiders that were like the LA Raiders, or they're the Oakland Raiders, or the Las Vegas Raiders. It's like, geez, get over it, guys. Just pick somewhere.
Pick somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, and then what happened to the whole deal about you can't have the Washington Redskins anymore? Because there's some guys on a reservation that are all butthurt about that. So then they started calling it the Washington Football Team. The Washington Football Team. And then they had laws and legislations and committee meetings and many people upset and lots of speeches and stuff. Now they're called the Washington Commanders.
Oh.
But I don't know what that is. Like, I'm at the stage in my life, if it's not called the Redskins, I don't know who the heck it is.
I'm like, is it Command, like from the movie Scandal? Are you talking about that kind of Commanders? The Command?
It might be the Commandos. Who knows? Are you going to play a song? Play a song so we go to the bathroom.
Oh, you could go. Okay, we're short intermission. Go ahead, go run.
No, you got to play something. Start something up.
Oh, but then I'm live, so you could go ahead and sneak out. And then
We're not live?
We are live.
Oh, then why should I go?
Oh, well, because
Are you kicking me out?
No, you
I'm just
said
go to
you
the
needed
bathroom
to
right
go.
here. Just like a truckers do.
I mean,
They carry those things with them.
I have a cup.
No,
over
it's
here.
okay, man.
If you need to go, you could go ahead and go. We got a live audience. They can tune in with me here.
Well, how much longer is the show?
However long you want it to go.
You are so cool. You are so cool. And you know what? I'm driving up here trying to think if I have time to stop to get that Mountain Dew because I really wanted to bring it. And then I was going to get a Starbucks. Dude, right over here at 104th and Huron is like, there are 15 cop cars and there's 2 fire trucks out there. And I'm just like stuck there. And I'm going, I don't have time.
Line?
And then it was 7 cars.
Oh yeah, they're always like crazy.
No, I'm not doing that.
Sometimes you're like, okay, it looks like the line's going pretty quick, right? So then you jump in line and then you're stuck because you can't get out.
Well, you're stuck, and the problem is all these people out there that have the 15 qualified adjective drinks. So it's like, I like a double Quasimodo Frappuccino, anti-inflammatory, gluten-free, soy-free, 2-pump Splendid, lemonade, strawberry whipped, and you're like, can you imagine how hard it'd be to work at Starbucks? How do you keep track of all that?
I would have got fired the first day because I would be like, all right, cool, blended, ice, cooler, here you go.
Here, drink it and get out of my drive-thru.
It's drinkable, and that's all you need to know.
What kind of coffee do you drink, or do you drink it?
I'm not a coffee drinker.
You don't look like a coffeeer.
No, I've never been a coffeeer. This is kind of my coffee. Mountain Dew is my coffee.
I know.
This is, we're talking about people, the Wheaties.
Right.
This is just as bad because I'm at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like I leave for work at like 5:20 in the morning.
Right.
And
you're up really early.
Mountain Dew on my way to work, and people are like, "What's happening? What's going on?" I'm like, you know what? If I don't have a Mountain Dew in the morning.
Right. It's an interesting thing how it works though, because having been around like a lot of different people and different cultures and different stuff, pretty much all of the girls that are, well, not all of them, but the girls that drink the like super colorful, like about 2 years ago, I was with this new girl and I was driving, or maybe it was 5 years ago, I don't know, driving through the Starbucks line, and she ordered this thing that was so unbelievable. It was so beautiful. It was like pink and it was strawberry-ish, and it was
a pink drink, blended.
It was this thing, right? And then she's like, "Thank you." I'm like, how come so many of the hot girls are into the colored drinks? Like, you like pink drinks, and you're like, what color is that?
This is not a good color, but
it's dew.
It's yellow.
It's yellow dew. Yellow dew.
And yellow's my favorite color. So
okay.
It goes together.
Okay, now what sports team has yellow or gold? Go.
Warriors, Nuggets,
Lakers, Rams,
yellow, blue, okay, Frederick High School.
John F. Kennedy High.
I was on the spot. I had to go.
Yeah, man, it's the color thing with the drinks and all that. And then I noticed something too that I was giving a tip to the guys who are still bothering to do things like hooking up and all that, which I don't really mess with anymore because I'm kind of over it. But red wine drinkers.
Ooh.
If you've got a woman that's like, I like red wine, like a rosé or a good Cabernet, you've got a better chance than most guys of getting lucky that night. Because red wine, women that drink red wine seem to just be more friendly.
Okay, what is it with the red wine?
You have to ask one of them. I'm just the observer.
You're just the observer?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just kind of observing that thing. I've noticed it, but it's not. I can't drink wine. Are you a wine drinker?
No.
I can't drink wine. No. It hurts my ears.
I took a sip of like one wine a while back, and I was like, nope, can't do it.
No.
A long time ago, like years ago. But I've never been a drinker either. I've never acquired the taste for wine, drinking. My taste is to the dew.
Yeah, it's to the dew, man.
I'm loyal to the dew.
do or I will die. How's it go?
Till do me part.
Till death do I do the do.
Till do me part.
Till death will I do the do.
Till death will I do the do. Okay. I said this will probably be the one thing that kills.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody's got to have their thing, but moderation is really a key thing too, and that's what I try and tell, you know, any of these people out there that are my friends. Like a lot of my students during the COVID thing, they got so depressed. And I was really depressed too because I had no gigs for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't go anywhere, I couldn't do anything, and my entire life I'd played at least a couple of nights a month.
Yeah.
Sometimes 25 nights or 30 nights, or you know, with the happy hours and all the other little things, and the church gigs, and then nothing for 2 years, and you're just going, oh my God. And you know, there was all these people trying to do online shows and stuff, and I wasn't really into the live online thing, mostly because I didn't have a space with a piano and all the sound stuff and the lighting that would look like I have my own PBS specials and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get on there and it's like, oh, well, look, there's like, you know, there's antlers on the wall and like his piano's crooked and the computer looks a little dirty. Well, oh, did he shave today? I'm not down, man. I just was like, no.
You're like, not going to do it.
Not going to do it. So what I did instead is I did the show to help my friends.
Yes.
Because that was the whole premise, is that we all started calling each other. It's like, dude, you have any work? No. What are you doing? I don't know. I'm just drinking, you know, or weeding or whatever, just like sitting in my house.
I'm having Wheaties, drinking.
And so I started going down my list and I was like, dude, I know so many people that are so famous and such nice people. Because usually it's the jerks that make the news, like that slapping thing at the Oscars.
Okay, it was at the Oscars. Okay.
It wasn't at the Grammys.
I know. I was going to ask that. I was like, wait, hold on. Were you there for the slap?
No, and I'm glad that I wasn't because I'm not into that show. I'm not in the organization, and, you know, that's one of those things where you got to kind of wonder, and you probably wonder this too. It's like, okay, each one of these people has so much more money they could ever spend in their whole life, and they're going to go punch each other on the show instead of help other people or do whatever. Yeah. And people ask me that kind of stuff too. They say, well, you know, Taylor Swift is doing a benefit concert and she's going to raise $100 million. So Rob, where's your benefit concert? I go, dude, I'm not Taylor Swift. I'm not selling 5 billion units every couple of years. I'm not sitting on a mountain of money. Yeah. I'm just doing the best that I can with the resources that I have. But you start looking at it on a deeper level. Well, you got a guy like Jeff Bezos. Why is he not funding, you know, Bibles all over the world? And if he wants to do Bibles and Qurans, I'm fine.
You know that's the number one book stolen? I just thought I'd throw that in there.
The Bible? Yeah, you know why?
Because everybody needs a word.
Yeah, everybody needs a word, but in the old movies, like when Robert Mitchum was in, this is before you were born, in all the Westerns, that's where the preacher, when it got to the final showdown in the Western town, that's where he always had a little pistol. He'd cut the thing out and keep it in the Bible, and then he'd be there for the big thing, and the guy would open the Bible and pull it again.
I never knew that.
No, isn't that horrible?
That is horrible.
That's horrible. Robert Mitchum, he was like this big actor that my dad was a big fan. And then talking about golf, speaking of golf, I put this just goes to show you another part of why Facebook is so stupid and people are so horrible. So I was a crippled kid in high school. I couldn't walk. I was in a horrible car accident, not as bad as Tiger Woods, but I mean I couldn't walk and I couldn't do anything, and life was really bad for me in junior and going into senior year of high school because I was a cripple limping around at a you know, basically a mixed race high school. And people were picking on me, and it was bad, and all this stuff was happening. So when Tiger Woods got into his car accident, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why he got in the wreck or what the explanation is, but if that guy can no longer play golf, that's going to be horrible. That'd be like if I'm, you know, if I go somewhere and they chop off all my fingers, and I've done it, it's like I would just be suicidal. So then Tiger comes out to play at the Masters. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoop, whoop. Like, you know, he comes out to play the Masters after 2 years and his leg was completely crushed. And I know about that. Like, they rebuild it. Yeah. It's bone to bone and screws, and you do all this therapy, and you have to swim, and then they readjust the stuff. And it's way more high-tech now, I'm sure, than when it happened to me. But then I just make this really simple little post on my Facebook page saying the best thing that happened today is that Tiger Woods is playing the Masters.
Yes.
Because what it represents to me, he overcame adversity. He got through all the stuff. He's out there. He's not really ready to walk 4 freaking days, 18 holes. He wasn't quite ready because he started bogeying the holes towards the end. But then I'm thinking, this is great. And you know what somebody says on my Facebook? Well, you must have a really low bar set for your day if that's going to be the big high point of your day is Tiger Woods.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a guy I've known for like 30 years.
Yeah. And
I just, when he lives in the Bay Area, I just want to drive up there and like club him with a 9-iron. You know? Yes. What are you doing, man? Just be nice.
Just bring your stealth with you.
Bring your stealth Mountain Dew and the fire extinguisher. All over the place. Well, who was on your show last week? What's been happening with the shows?
Oh my gosh, who was on my show last week?
I bet you can't remember.
Who was on my show this last week? I can't remember.
Like I can't remember the last person.
Okay, let me tell you, Rob. I'm getting up there. Okay, I'm almost getting to the 40s club. Okay.
What?
And I'm like, y'all, I can't remember nothing. You could tell me something like 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, hold on. Let me check my mental notes, because I'm not sure what happened.
When I first
20 minutes
when I first found out about your great nation here in streaming nation and everything on Facebook, Henry was like posting all that stuff, and I saw your picture on there. Like, wow, that girl's hot, man. She must be about 23. So then Henry and I started talking, and I ended up doing the thing. And then I met you, and I was like, no, she might even be like 22 or something, because she's like, you're really beautiful in person, you know? And so I said the same thing to Cindy Crawford, and the bodyguard hit me. So, but
well, no one's gonna hit you.
Okay, but the thing was, is that then I found out you had a son, and then I found out how old your son was, and I was like, this is the same thing that happened when Jesus was born.
You're like, what's happening?
This is a virgin. I just like, this can't be that the son is that old already. And it's, as the years and the decades go by, this one bass player friend of mine, Larry Anthony, you know, he plays with Pablo Cruz, right?
Yeah.
And Larry and I have been in the studios for like 30 years doing stuff, and I remember he called me when he turned 45, and it was like a crisis call.
Yeah. And
you know how your friends call you up and they're like, oh, dude, this is horrible.
It's me. I'm that friend.
Are you that? You can call me anytime. I won't take your calls. Okay. Okay. I just let it go to voicemail. And then I'll call you back.
I'll listen to her voicemail first.
So Larry calls me, and see, I've worn glasses since I was 6, but Larry has always been, he's like super handsome, and you know, his look is not glasses or anything. And he calls up, he's like, dude, the worst thing, and he's so serious, the worst thing in my life happened today. What's that, Larry? Dude, I woke up and I just can't see. Like, I can't see anything. I said, you're not blind, are you? And he says, no, but like I started trying to read like a book, and then my number's off my credit card and stuff, and I can't see it. And I said, Larry, how old are you? And he says, I'm 45. And I said, oh, this is just the beginning. You know?
Yes, I mean, I'm feeling it. I got a couple of years to go, but I'm going to hit the 40s club soon.
Whoa. Well, it's kind of a blessing in disguise with the memory loss thing, too. And, you know, because sometimes it's great to forget certain people. And you're just like, we were talking about this at the studio a few minutes ago, because the guy who was producing said, you know, and I hadn't seen the engineer, and we all know each other for like years. So the guy said, you know, what's the weirdest thing that happens to you when somebody just like shows up? And the producer goes, yeah, like, you know, you're at a gig and this girl just walks up and says, hey. And you're going,
hi.
Then the other phrase that you hate is, remember me? Right? And you go, what do you say? Because after all those years pass and stuff, you're already experiencing this stuff at your age. Imagine, like, I'm playing at the Regas Cafe in 1985, and now it's 2022, and they hit me up on Facebook, and how am I supposed to remember every single person that I've met, right?
Yes.
And you meet a lot of people, too, because you work in public service during the day.
Yeah.
And I meet a lot of people doing gigs and concerts and stuff. There's no way to keep track of them all.
Oh, yeah, there isn't.
There's not.
I mean, I'm pretty good at keeping track of people. I'm good with faces, but not remembering names. And so, like, someone will come up and I'm just like, if it's in person, I'm like, if you're here, if it's Rob, I'm like, oh, Rob, this is my friend. And then you're like, hi, I'm Rob. And then you got to swoop in and help me out and be my right hand. And then
right, you got it.
Oh, I'm Amanda. And you're like, yes, this is my friend Amanda.
I know.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, I remember where you're from.
I know, man. That's really hard at church, too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to, like, different churches. And sometimes you just find that out. And sometimes I go to church, with my parents here in Denver at a couple of different places. They went to a really big one off of, like, 38th and Spear or something. It was a big Baptist church. What's that one called? You've been there.
I don't know. I haven't been there.
Yeah, but you know about it.
Yeah, I do know about it.
Yeah, so, I would go in there, and then a year later, I go back, and all these people that had met me a year before, well, they know everything about me. Oh, I saw that you went and played in Japan, and then you made a new album, and this and that, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm supposed to remember this name of this person. Or this family, I don't have any idea.
But the good thing that if you're in church, all you have to do is be like, hi, sister. Hi, brother. It's so good to see you again.
So I was out with my friends last night, and a couple of people came over and sat with us and stuff. And this, I don't know how I got on that topic, but they were talking about religion.
Yeah.
And I know why, because my drummer got hired to do a gig at a Buddhist center.
Oh.
And so we were talking about comparative religion. So then this girl who joined us at the table just like pipes up and she says, I'm Catholic and I really love being a Catholic. And she's had like 3 vodka cranberries.
Oh no.
And why do you love being a Catholic? She says, because you do whatever you want all week long. Then you put in like $20 on Sunday and apologize during confession, and you're good to go for another week.
Oh my goodness!
No, that's not. No, but no, like that's how she's doing it. That's how she's rolling.
Yeah.
Through her life is with that. I'm like, why?
I'm gonna give you a church card, so the next time you see her, be like, go visit my friend Melissa at her church.
That's right.
But she ain't Catholic.
Right, and bring 20%.
Yeah.
Instead of 10%.
25. It might be
Well, another thing about that I always think about when it comes to the Grammys and this station, the stream, is Henry was the first guy to play BTS on the air in America, and BTS dominated the Grammys. I don't know if you saw that or not, but those guys are styling so hard and so sharp, and they're up there in the front, all 5, they're all chilling and everything, and they have that big hit song, and even at, what are they, like 26 now?
Probably like 19.
I think they were like 6. Hey, Henry.
Jefecito. He's back there.
How old was BTS when you put them on the air? Were they in kindergarten? How old were they?
Maybe preschool.
Yeah, but they're just, over the time, you gotta give them credit.
Yeah.
Because they just honed it in, man.
Yeah,
it's so tight, so fun to watch.
Yeah.
And it's really American sounding music all the way.
It is. I know. Well, that's funny that you brought them up because the song was playing the other day. And I was like, oh yeah, I know this. And they're like the young girls, they're probably like 16, 17. They're like, how do you know who it is? And I was like, dang, I'm not that old yet.
I know.
It hurt just a little. You could call me ma'am.
Oh,
yes,
that's
ma'am.
when it gets hard.
That doesn't hurt me. But when the little girls are like, how do you know them? I'm like, am I not cultured? Do I not know who BTS is?
That's bad. And then,
then it hurt my feelings, and I cried, and I was like, I haven't even hit the 40s club yet, and they're already calling me old.
I know. Well, it was already 10 years ago when I was talking to somebody who was going to become a student in my program, and I said, because I always ask him about music, and, it's a really smart thing for music teachers out there. Here's one of my pro tips for you guys. And I could use students, I can use more students, but the old approach to teaching music was there was this certain kind of rigid thing, and it's all written down, and everybody's got to go exactly this way, and you follow all the thing, and there's no variance, we have one gradient, and everybody this. No, the best way to do it is if you have a young person, just say, let's go on YouTube, and what do you like?
Yeah.
And then I can just show them, because I know enough about music. Like if you want to know all the theory of the latest Bruno Mars hit, I'll write it all down. I'll give you the chords. I'll tell you where they're playing on the fretboard of the guitar, what the bass player is doing, all that stuff. But kids come in and they're just, well, there's this band. And then I go, okay. And then I look them up, and it's like Slipknot, but modern. And it's all this death thing. They're all going, hurr, hurr, hurr. And I'm thinking, ugh. And then so I'll ask nicely some questions like, do you know who the Beatles are? And they go, no. And I go, do you know who the Rolling Stones are? No. Did you ever hear of Nirvana? No. And then
but they have the shirt on, though.
Exactly. So it is weird. I mean, the first time I ever got called sir at a Starbucks drive-thru, it was gnashing of teeth and many tears. I was like, really? You know, and I don't even look. I look more like I could sell a computer at Best Buy than somebody's dad, right?
Yes.
I mean, I don't really feel. I don't have any kids. I'm not a dad, but
he's part of the geek squad.
Yeah.
So you could hire him, okay?
Yeah, you can hire me, man. I do IT work in my spare time, just like Henry does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know Henry knows how to do it really good, and then he has like those bad jokes. It's a weird combo, man. Tell it. Yeah, gee whiz computers. Did you hear the one about the priest and the rabbi on the way to their elementary school? Hey, wait a minute.
You're like, hold on.
Hold on, I just need my PC's
You're like,
modem.
earmuffs. Hold on, ready?
My PC's modem isn't working right for some reason today. So, yeah, I'm just in town here for a minute, and then I have a couple of shows coming up.
I was going to ask you, what shows you got coming up?
Yeah, my next biggest one is this private thing, and I should know more about it, but it's this community that's doing a charity, and it's a private, huge community, like a city in the Northwest Valley in LA, and it's called Sherwood.
Oh.
So they have their own golf courses, and they have their own people and stuff, and they're charging $300 a ticket for my all-star band. It's me on piano, Jimmy Roberts from Rod Stewart on sax.
Well, that's a steal. $300 a ticket.
Right, and Larry Antonino on bass, and then Joel Taylor on drums. So it's a quartet. Then the next night, that's on May 23rd. Then on May 24th, I'm playing a little party at a new place in Santa Monica called La Puglia.
Ooh.
And it's a swanky Italian place. Then I'm going to come back out here, and on June the, let's see, oh, no, May, see, now I'm forgetting because I'm sitting too close to you.
I know, it's rubbing off.
Let me get over here and I go, oh, okay, May 19th, all right. Del Rey Yacht Club. Be at the Del Rey Yacht Club in Marina, May 19th, and then June the 4th, I'm doing the 5 Points Jazz Festival.
Oh, yes. I'm excited about that. Yes, yes.
Yeah. And that's in the afternoon. It's an afternoon show at like 2:30 with my all-star band. And then the next night, I'm doing Dazzle.
Ooh.
On June the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, at 6
Dazzle,
o'clock.
5 Points,
Yeah.
Jazz Festival.
Right.
Will you be at the Vail Jazz Festival?
No, I don't think so.
No.
You know, and I bet you I know why. You know why?
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because I commute from LA to here a lot.
Yeah.
And I like to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are you like a road tripper? I love going on
a road tripper.
I love it. I love the forest, and you know.
A simple tip though: make sure you could go with someone who can drive with you.
Right.
Because if you have friends like me, I end up doing the 17-hour drive by myself.
Oh, that's not healthy.
No. And then I'm like this.
Right. You know, now I used to do that, but now I cap it probably at about, I think maybe 11 hours is the most I can do, but I can camp.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know how to live in my car and make a tent and all that stuff. But the reason I really talk a lot of smack about how much I hate Vail Pass, because it doesn't matter what time of year it is, dude. Whatever time. Okay, what is it? It's June 6th. What's the temperature in Denver? 97. Great, let's go to Vail. You get to Vail.
20. Negative 20.
Negative 20. Signs everywhere. People spun out. Construction. You're like, yeah, they're putting the chains on the trucks. You're going down the hill. You're sliding. Dude, I hate it. I hate Vail Pass more than anything in the world. So what I started doing is I started going the southern route.
Okay.
And it's longer.
Yeah.
But you get really good Mexican food.
Yes. Yes.
You go straight to Albuquerque, dude.
Go, yes.
Yeah, you go straight down 25, Albuquerque, and then you can take that. And what I like to do is I cut across on the 40 for a while. But at Flagstaff, I get off and I go this other road to Prescott.
Okay.
Do you know Prescott?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That town rocks. So fun.
Yes.
Right? And I think it's a great town. It reminds me of what like Grand Lake used to be like, you know,
yeah,
and Steamboat used to be like that when it was smaller.
Yeah,
and
smaller.
Yeah, but Prescott's really fun. And then, little known secret, you can go out the 89th there, jump onto the State Highway 71, the State Highway 60, and it just bypasses Phoenix and all of these other things. You get a really easy border crossing into California, and you end up on the 10 freeway.
Yeah.
And Prescott's only 7 hours from LA.
Ooh.
So you just shave off all that time that you
Yeah.
lost, that, you would have lost it anyway if you're on Vail Pass.
Yes.
Vail Pass
But then
sucks.
you didn't enjoy it.
But I hear that's a good jazz festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it, so, I'll have to send you up there.
Well, I'm excited for you to come out here and play for
5 points. Yeah.
Yes, and definitely be at Dazzle.
Yeah, the next
We'll
time.
have more information for you guys the closer it gets, so you can get tickets, go out, support Rob, as always, because we
Please.
love him here. And if you weren't at his last show for the 40th, it was amazing. Packed house both nights. Standing on the floor too. I don't know if that was loud. Should I say that? I don't know. But
Yeah,
there were
standing
people
on the floor.
there.
Standing
Yeah.
room only.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was amazing. So
It was really
you guys
fun.
gotta get out there, enjoy it. And Dazzle's such a cool place too. Like, it's such a great vibe. I love the smaller vibes, especially like with artists as yourself, because you get that real intimate vibe.
And the
You get to feel
piano is so
everything.
important. Like,
Yes.
the piano's good, and it's big enough. The stage is big enough that you can kind of spread everybody out to where they're comfy. It's not really cramped. And that's a favorite venue of mine that'll always be one of my favorites here in town. And I get called all the time, like, why are you not playing at the Soil Dove? Why are you not playing at Nocturne? Why are you not playing at why not? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if the Soil Dove has a piano. I don't think
do have.
they have an electric piano.
Yeah.
I don't think
I thought they had a piano.
But they don't.
I could be wrong.
They don't have a 9-foot grand.
Not a 9-foot grand though.
Dude,
they
it's
definitely
like-
don't have that.
The 9-foot grand that's my heart, man.
And I don't think Nocturne has it.
They do. They have
they?
a good piano. It's
Okay.
not a 9-footer.
I've been there, but like years ago. Like
Oh.
when they first opened. I went to
Okay.
like their grand opening. and
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that. It was a nice, cool little place.
Yeah, I mean, I was in there last night. It was cool, but the difference for me is a lot of it is the relationship that I have with the owners
Yeah.
of Dazzle and the emotion tied into my albums that I've done, because I've done 3 live albums at Dazzle.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I feel the vibe, and they're super fair. They've been through a lot. Like, all the venues have been through a lot, but when the pandemic was going on, Dazzle actually raised the money to feed people breakfast. And they did like musician food service
Yeah.
for months on end. They were like keeping people from being on the street.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's not that little. It seats 300, something like that. But we'll pack it out again and have fun. And I'm bringing some new material. I was with Liam last night, my drummer, and we're working on some new stuff. And he's doing great. He moved back. In the pandemic, he had to leave.
Yeah.
January.
I met Liam.
Well, all the girls have met Liam.
Well, I met him at your 40th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam's
Yeah,
cool.
your whole crew is amazing.
The
they're,
bands, yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah, the band is really, really good. So, I'm fortunate in that way too. And you become, you go a lot of times with what you're really comfortable with, because I know Dazzle's not going to short me on the door money, and I don't have to worry about, getting to know a whole bunch of new accountants and all that. I mean, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And the last thing that I really want to be doing with my time is just, let's talk a few more hours to booking agents. Let's talk a few more hours about rental equipment. No, I don't want to talk to anyone about that. And actually, the agent and I have been talking today about what we're going to do that night of the 5th. And I think I'm going to plan a double special event. But I don't have clearance for it yet, so I can't talk about it yet. But
You didn't hear that. Rewind.
I'm going to be unwhoop whoop. How do you whoop whoop backwards?
To whoop.
Oh my God, we're a mess around here. This is KUHS television, live in North Glen, streaming all over the internet, KUHS-TV.com. And it's not my show today, it's Melissa's show. called Ignite with Melissa, and I just popped in off the street, man, get out of the wind.
Yes, out of the wind. The wind blew him in here, blew him in. He had some news for us, bringing that cool jazz. Here we go.
Yeah, coming from California, man.
Yes, and so grateful for you to come in and stop in today, and it's always an awesome vibe every time. I love Rob. He's amazing. And so
My little sister, my little Denver sister.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Grammy nominee right here. We're going to get you your award. Here we go. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
And so super excited. Thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
And keeping us updated with everything you got going on.
Sure.
Love having you hang out, and can't wait for you guys that haven't seen him live. I can't wait for you guys, especially at the Jazz Festival. You got to get to 5 Points Jazz Festival. It's going to be amazing. So.
Right, and if you're an old person like me that's trying to just get down there with your oxygen and your wheelchair, excuse me, be sure you have your kids. Like if you have kids and you used to listen to Rob Mullins in the 80s, bring your kids, man. They're going to love it too, you know, because you probably don't know where your CDs even are by now after you got married and moved to Centennial or wherever. So look, bring your kids, bring your grandkids. It's family friendly outdoor thing at 5 Points. They have music all weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. So get out there. And thank you again, Rob, for coming in and taking some time out. I know you got to get back to the studio.
Yeah, I got to run back and make sure they didn't blow anything up.
Yeah. Make sure the drummers, everybody's still there.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you guys for tuning in as
Bye
always.
now.
Woo woo. Okay. And you know, just before we head out today, I want to remind y'all, if no one has told you today that you have purpose, you are loved, and you belong. So your girl signing out here on Ignite with Melissa, KUHS-Denver.com, the stream. Love, peace, and God bless y'all.